Greetings and salutations, guys. We are back here at the 2023 Discraft Ledgestone Open, presented by Morel, and brought to you by Ace Run Productions. We are Holly Finley, and I am Sayananda. We are on the back 9 here of round 2.
Sunset Hills Golf Course in Pekin, Illinois. Let's check out the top 10 leaderboard. I've been calling it Pekin all week.
I've been calling it Pekin for sure.
Yeah, a local who lives in Pekin told me today it's Pekin.
All right, checking out our leaderboard here. We've got some pretty great scores under par so far. Hole 10, we've got a tricky shot with a little bit of a gap to hit right off the bat. Par 3 at 301 feet. It's certainly attainable, but the angles on this hole are really tricky, and they're definitely exaggerated by the small gap that you have to hit off the tee. You've got to hit, in my opinion, for a backhand, you've got to hit a pretty hard hyzer pop-up if you want to scooch up into the green, but I think a forehand could also get you down there as well pretty well.
Sarah Gilpin up first.
And I didn't mention, but the long grass to the left side is also out of bounds.
It's possible to throw straight off the tee, go between the weeping willows, and land near those two bushes and have a putt.
I saw Holland Handley do the exact same thing. I couldn't believe it got so good up to the basket.
But a lot of players will just opt for this shot like Lisa, where you hyzer in front of that weeping willow under those limbs and then take a long putt. Juliana with the turn off the tee.
I love to see that low play. Didn't quite give it enough air, but I liked the idea.
Maria's got the distance to get there in either scenario, between the willows or going with a hyzer shot on the left. And she has landed behind the closest bush, which could be tricky. Closer to the center you land, the harder it is to actually get a real putt.
That's going to be her second shot from some foliage. She was putting from the grass on the other one.
Juliana decides to lay that up.
Interesting. It's a pretty wide open, no risk putt.
Long putt. Lisa giving it a go. No connection for her.
Only landed just outside the target, though. That's a great run. I like to see that.
You can see this full stretch out from Oliva looking at a birdie from 25. It's
nice
in. That's exciting.
Connected and got the power on that one. I think the first one she had from the grass hyzered out a little bit. Didn't quite have the oomph on it, so that was a good correction.
I love getting this birdie.
Doesn't it feel sneaky? You got away with something.
And the weeping willows used to be a little lower. And in previous years, there was a groundhog that lived under that building to the right. And every time we'd come down the fairway, he'd pop out and just hang out and visit you.
Oh, gosh. Spectate. Watch a little bit of golf.
I haven't seen him this year, so kind of miss that guy.
Got the ladies tapping out here. Juliana with her par. Got 3 pars here. And Maria with that nice birdie. And nice to see that birdie from Maria. Good bounce back.
Hole 11, a downhill 393-foot par 3. You've got that out of bounds frog pond a little bit behind the basket. If you angle this one just right, you can get up there for a putt, but I see the most common mistake is just shorting the shot, landing anywhere in bounds, and most everyone's just pitching up for a par. With distance like Oliva has, she could send it long out of bounds. She's up first.
Oh, I like it. No fear with the pond.
Well done from Maria. She's in the circle looking at birdie.
Sarah, this looks like it's turning a little bit too much, but if it doesn't have too much distance, oh, nice. Plays the angle of the land. That'll be a circle
got a 65 footer at it.
Mm-hmm. And not too dangerous of a basket. Lisa, looking very similar. See if she can get some action as well. Right at, maybe just a little bit more inside of circle 2.
Lisa's got about a 50-foot look at it. Let's see if Juliana can get up there.
I like the look at this.
Interesting line.
Getting it turning a little bit sooner in the flight, to working to the right, and then trusting hyzer. Juliana just at circle's edge.
Sarah.
We've got Sarah here, putting from circle 2's edge.
I thought Sarah might have that one.
Great tempo, landing right underneath the basket. Lisa running another one. Ah! That one looked pretty good.
Was deceiving.
Tricked both of us.
Thought it was in. She probably thought it was in too.
Great tempo, right inside.
And this is just not the same putt we saw from Juliana at the beginning. I feel like as soon as she messed up that one putt by the water.
Oh.
That was dirty.
Did a little dance for her.
It was in, and then it was half in, and then it was out.
That stall. The stall was offensive, but
we have to admit it was too high.
It was. It was high. It was on the right side.
It was right where the chains, connected, and we all know that's just not a good spot to land. I hate that for Maria. But it feels good to keep giving yourself those birdie opportunities.
I agree. And that's the mentality you want to take too. Potentially not seizing the opportunity, but definitely good to be giving yourself one.
No harm done on this one. Pars for everyone.
We've got hole 12. We're looking at a par 3 at 383 feet. There's a lot going on here. We've got a lot of fluffy foliage to the right, and beyond we've got this murky pond. We do have OB to the left, but it doesn't quite come into play as much. We also have some elevation. You can choose to be a little bit more aggressive and go for the pin on this one, or you can kind of choose to lay up on the open area in the flat. But the tee shot is very, very important.
Maria up first with a very aggressive line. Looks like it'll put her up there with a birdie opportunity.
Ooh.
It's a tricky downhill putt.
I feel like she maybe wanted a little bit more turn on that one, but that was a good result. Ooh. Playing it a little close with that fence there, but she's got good height to ties her right back in.
Very safe shot from Sarah.
Ooh, I like this. If it's got enough disc at the end.
It needs to move back quick left to get in bounds.
You see, yes, there's this little bit more of a wide opening. That was a solid shot from Lisa.
I love that shot from Lisa.
It was brave.
It is brave because a lot of times you just want to hyzer out for safety over on the left side. A lot of players just look at this one and think, I'm happy with par here.
That would be me. Juliana looking like she's about 4 feet outside the circle with a downhill putt.
Sarah's been here before and she knows how fast that green is, and she decided to lay it up and still got a little punishment.
It didn't seem like that layup was too bad, but you never know what kind of angle that disc hits right underneath the basket.
If you've ever played here before, you know how quick this green is.
Hopefully taking solace in that she executed it. Oh, Lisa, I love that for her. What a great birdie.
That putt through the V tree. I mean, this is such a bonus birdie anyway. A lot of people aren't even brave enough to go for the tee shot, let alone get down there actually and have a putt at it. Maria Oliva, That is
putt.
a death putt if I've ever seen it.
Seriously, and it couldn't have caught lower and more left. Oh my gosh, what a great get. Nice
Elite
bounce.
level birdie. Elite level.
I'm happy to see her continuing to fight for those birdies. Awesome to see it kind of, that rough hole kind of blow past her. Oh no, Sarah.
Sometimes when a good upshot rolls away, it kind of breaks your confidence for a second.
Yeah.
You know, because you're like, oh, that was good. Oh, no.
Right, and
You know,
so
and then you walk up to another, which is just normally a bag putt in a casual round, and all of a sudden you're feeling nervous about it because it just rolled away.
I think, you know, you've definitely got to trick your mentality on that one. It can be scary, but if you can tell yourself you're excited to make a putt and you like to putt, you can see it as an opportunity instead.
I like that. Let's look at hole 13, another birdie opportunity, par 3, 280 feet. I love this one. Are you going to be brave or are you going to lay up off the tee? You've got to decide that. Personally, I like to be brave. I send a distance driver, speed 9, into this island, hopefully landing close enough to get a birdie putt. Otherwise, a lot of players will just take a putter off the tee, do a little chip shot in front of the OB drop zone, and maybe give themselves a 50-foot birdie putt. Oliva going for it.
I think it's absolutely worth going for it. I think you've got a similar potential to 4 from the conservative or aggressive, but the aggressive just gives you that potential to get that birdie as well.
Fajkus laying up.
Interesting. Because I could see the layup. That was a little funky. That was a little bit left. Could be a simple hyzer shot up to the basket, though. It's not a long shot.
Juliana going for it. She's safe.
Ooh, that was a good checkup. With the high-speed driver, I could have seen that going.
Gilpin with the layup game.
She placed that one very well, though. That was
Absolutely.
a nice job.
Right
She's
in the
gonna,
opening.
I don't see how she could mess this one up, but I may be... Don't make me bite my words. Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Good job.
And if you're feeling a long jumper, you can do that.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that, too. We've seen a lot of great finesse in the putts from these players, too.
You know, you said Lisa's disc was moving left quick, and it got a little too left.
Oh, no.
Juliana's putting confidence has just dwindled since earlier in the round.
It can be so difficult to find the space to recover. And we see a little bit of difficulty from Maria as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Maria just banged one at full speed downhill, but this one came out at 50% of that speed.
This is where the challenge comes when you can birdie every single hole in the course. It's that mentality. It's keeping yourself strong when you don't birdie and keep still moving forward, you know, despite the hardships. Mm-hmm. These courses are a mental battle.
Everyone with a par.
And not too bad. You know, despite their struggles, they're making pro mistakes at least, you know. Cauterizing the wounds as soon as possible. Moving on to hole 14, par 3 at 329 feet. Personally, I love this hole. It's so much fun to air out a beautiful flex shot, and I think that's kind of what you're going to see from a lot of players. It's on the longer side at 329, and I think that flex gets you some distance and positions you to kind of skip in around some of these guardian trees here.
Trouble here is out of bounds, left and right. You've really got to keep it between the trees. Anything that's going to get an aggressive hyzer finish could be OB. Maria does that one perfectly inside the circle.
Hit the ground running on that one.
She didn't have too much height on it, so that helped control that finish as well.
Control her 400 feet of distance. I like the shape on this one for Lisa. Beautiful, pushing fairly deep into the circle. Juliana with her turn.
She goes right at it.
Doing exactly what turns do.
CTP for now.
Well executed shot.
17 feet. And I want to say that if you've ever played here before, you know that some days the wind can be scary. And today was beautiful, almost windless. I mean, maybe a couple miles an hour breeze. So ideal conditions out here on the course today.
It was just enough breeze to take the edge off the heat. Ideal scoring conditions, really. I like the height on that run from Sarah.
Yeah, she gave it a conservative bid.
Oh, just a little cheek kiss for Sarah there. I like the smile. She's happy to be running and going for birdies.
Oliva.
With another wide straddle putt. This course has given her some interesting short shots.
Yeah, she's got a working woman's game today.
Rolling the sleeves up. Oh, and we've seen it. We've seen the air ball. Tough. Super tough.
Get it in there.
If we all haven't been there a time or two.
It happens to the best of us.
Let's see what she can do on the next few holes.
You've got
That's
it.
all you can
Get it
hope.
in there.
Moment of silence.
That can hurt your feelers. Gilpin making good for a par here on hole 14.
I think that's where you can find a lot of grit and growth in those moments too sometimes. And even as such a skilled and experienced player, still no stranger to nerves.
But the nerves mean you still care.
Exactly. And that's always what's important to remember is, scary as those nerves may feel, it means that you really, really want to be there. Juliana with a little bit of purple there, everybody else taking a par.
On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose Ledgestone.
Hole 15, a par 4, 555 feet out of bounds on the right at the fence, also on the left, which can sneak up quick. If you've got big distance, you can send something out around inside this corner, but that's a rarity. Otherwise, a straight shot will do, which will give you a nice open tunnel shot into this green, which is quite fast, by the way. It's easy to go long here if you send your upshot dry and dusty behind the basket. First up, Oliva. I like it. It's low.
Low and gliding. Not too pinched off, yeah. I would say she's set up in a good position there.
Like to get a little bit further towards that back wall.
Lisa's airing it out nicely.
Still not quite exactly all the way in the opening.
Good distance, but,
We need a bit more.
Oh, I love this. A little forehand, just so she can really be on the left side, but...
It's going to pinch her off, though. You know, it's good for par, but birdie's almost impossible from there, unless you have some crazy trick shot in your game.
And yeah, that's unfortunate. You could tell she was probably throwing the forehand so she could guarantee, a safer shot, and it just didn't go her way. Got Juliana landing in a similar pinched off area.
From here, all Sarah wants to do is get it around the corner, possibly just a bit, so she can see the basket, land in bounds, and then it's just another short upshot. Maria could actually just get in there a little bit more.
I like the
problem
skip.
here is when you get too greedy.
Yep.
Like, she didn't need to do all that, and now she's in the rough again.
You absolutely
all
said
she
it
needed
there.
to do was a little putt, just like Lisa did, just a little putt right there to the opening, and then you're looking at the basket for a par. Juliana, she's in a position where she can go for it.
Oh, she executed that so well. What nice angle control. Oh,
10 out of 10.
Inside the target for Juliana.
I feel like she's already going to make this
third.
putt. I'm feeling it already for her.
We're rooting for you, girl.
Gilpin looking to play for... That was a good shot. Play for the par here. It came in a little hot.
Shout
You
out.
know, my catch cam guy, Conrad, got hit yesterday, so I'm gonna need these ladies to take it easy on my man out here. Hitting the catch cam guy.
Sarah, that looked like it was just a tidbit sawed off. That's an opportunity still in the circle. That's not, I think, what she was aiming for.
And you saw Maria trying to get that aggressive skip around the corner, and now she's just in a really precarious position.
Feeling the fangs.
You know, if you got to go to the knee in a forehand roller, you're in trouble. Can it get up there?
She cuts it very well.
Look at
my
the
gosh.
skill on this.
Misses the stump.
Look at that.
Oh, maybe 3 feet outside the target. That was a very excellent scramble shot.
Really good. And you know, when you're out practicing your
Greedy
course,
and got away with
you've got to do that kind of stuff. You can't just play your best shots.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, that was a really well executed. She was stretched out with the branch behind her.
That was so good.
Yeah, she couldn't, bend her knees to give her more leg power. Well executed.
Lisa for par.
Stretched out on a knee here as well. This course is giving some interesting putts. Hyzered out on that Anheuser putt. Looks like she was just trying to make it right around that tree. Maria approaching her scramble here.
A little cleaner than Lisa.
Just a little bit more to the left. Oh, Maria, that was an opportunity right there.
Maria will not make good for her par. Lisa looking for this bogey putt to go in. That'll do.
Thankfully, yep, a little bit of a sigh there. Sometimes it just feels good to get it into the basket and get it over with.
Really, I feel like the drive's fairly simple on this hole. It's the second and third shot which are the hardest. I knew Juliana was going to make that one. You got it.
Yep, way to bounce back and keep swinging, girl. Got
Maria with
greedy,
the bogey.
Almost got away with it.
She almost got away with it, but not this time.
I think that's another row of teeth on this course. With all of the birdie opportunities, you can see that opportunity and you can get greedy with it.
They're just right there.
They're right there. Moving on, we are closing up the back nine with hole 16. We got a par 3 at 352. This one seems fairly simple, but it's just got a little bit of some left to right. Other than that, we don't have a whole lot of danger. I suppose you could hyzer out into the bush to the left, but even then, it's not going to be too crazy. We're probably going to potentially see a forehand here, maybe from Sarah. I would consider this one a bonus birdie as well, just with that trickiness. We got Juliana teeing off first with the box, putting that turn out there.
Very well done. Another birdie opportunity for her.
That was hard to see exactly, but well inside the circle.
It's easy just to throw straight here. If you want to make this hole difficult, then you try to go right at it or get between those trees like Gilpin and Korver did.
And I think it can be a little bit deceptive to throw more of an Anheuser than necessary. So I think you're absolutely right. Just a simple straight shot.
Maria's straight shot, and she's in the circle with the birdie putt.
30 feet.
It's not hard to get an opportunity on this hole. I think it's
Easy to overthink.
Exactly. Harder if you try to actually shape it to get it there. And that's sort of the safe play. You know, you just hyzer out here on the top, and if you're feeling a long putt, you go for it, and if not, you're on to 17. Fajkus from about 75.
And as we're closing out the round here, I'm sure you want to keep the birds in the hand as much as possible. Finish strong.
Gilpin for birdie.
Gives it the height, just a little, maybe an inch short.
Oliva for birdie.
Strong.
Very
putt.
nice.
Good to see. Nice to take a birdie here in the back as we're finishing up.
Juliana.
Jinx.
It had a bit more pace on it. I liked that.
I agree. And it was dead center.
Lisa will walk away with a par.
Juliana and Sarah with pars as well. Maria sitting at 3 down, as well as Lisa Fajkus. And we've got Sarah at 1 down and Juliana at 1 over.
Hole 17, this is a fun one. 525-foot par 4. Off the tee, as a visual, if you can get to or past this Mando sign, you are in primo landing position. Also, the further on the left side of the fairway you are, opens up your shot a little bit more to get into the green. If you get far enough, you can choose a jump putt, backhand, or a sidearm. This is not the easiest hole. The upshot is probably the hardest part. Maria, Oliva up first.
I would put the fun in quotations. That green is tricky down there.
It's fast.
It is. It's fast. It rolls. Maria, not terribly out of position, but maybe just a little bit of tricky footing there.
She could actually still save par from there because of the distance she got off the tee.
And on the left side of the fairway, it's still open.
And because this requires a very long tee shot, I imagine Juliana did a full send on that and her turn turned over. So that could be tricky for her. This is a little short, you know. You really want to get more distance on this tee shot.
And even with a conservative play, that had a lot more flight under it.
Right, she's got way more distance than that. This looks like a good shot from Fajkus. I'd say that is a premium position.
Really opening up her angles for that approach shot to give her the best view. Sarah is a little bit short here. She's got a great, powerful forehand, though. Oh, wow, that was so great for being so out of position.
Yep, and there's a reason that Sarah Gilpin is on this chase card.
She doesn't use all the power that she has on every shot.
It's for skills like that.
That's dangerous.
Juliana with a nice turnover, not getting greedy. She didn't try to go in the mouth already. She just set herself up to see the basket.
Precisely. If she were potentially to have gotten greedy, I could have seen her getting caught up in those branches. I made a similar mistake.
And Lisa with a nice speed on that upshot. She trickles in there looking at birdie. And look at the distance Maria got.
Practically looking at the basket. She was looking at the basket.
She could still save par even though she went out of bounds off the tee.
That would look like her bird.
It was.
Putter shot.
It was.
Strong finish.
Juliana does a nice little pitch up.
These are some of the best approach shots I have seen.
For birdie, Sarah Gilpin. A good
So
try.
close. Just broke down the hole in a little bit of a different way is all.
This is Lisa Fajkus for birdie. It's
Awesome.
in.
Good get right at the end there. Super nice.
A bonus on 17.
Seriously.
It just feels so good to get that birdie.
Just one more right at the end. As many as you can grab.
Oliva to save par, and it's in.
That was another tricky kind of wide set putt.
Isn't it fun to see that how having such distance can get you in trouble? Hey, it's in. We're out of here, Juliana. It's in and we're out of here. Doesn't matter what it looks like. But having that much distance can get you in trouble. But then also she got so far down there, she could practically jump putt to the basket and still able to save par after
Blessing
going
and a
out of
curse.
bounds. It is. It really is.
Always two-sided. Alright, you guys, we are on the final hole 18. This is a par 4 at 338 feet. We've got the basket sitting out there in the middle of the fairway in between these trees, and really, I think every player is trying to get it into the circle and vie for a birdie on this one. It's not that complicated of a shot, but we've got some hill and we've got some elevation. So as the disc is hyzering for a backhand, the hill is running away with it, and that's the mistake you're gonna see.
Lisa Fajkus up first here on hole 18 after a birdie on 17.
Or at least one of the mistakes you'll see.
And that looks like it's hyzering too quick. You know, she threw it directly at the basket, which means the disc is going to finish left down the hill. You've really got to either throw it straight all the way out the back, or you need to pull your shot to the right and let it work back left. Oh, this is nice.
This could be a great example of that turn, doing exactly what it does best. Cruising just inside the circle. That's gonna be a tricky putt.
It is.
With the downhill behind her.
Downhill, yes.
So we'll see what choices she makes there at their last putt.
That's hyzering too quickly as well.
It is. I wanted to.
A bit too high. Maria's down the hill. And even though that looks far away, once you get up there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually puttable if I want to.
Yeah, and it is an uphill putt with a pretty decent backdrop. So it's not the worst bailout zone to land in.
Not at all.
Sarah,
but there
right there
is
as well.
that little out of bounds circle right there.
I didn't even realize that was out of bounds. Way to point that out.
This is Gilpin's second shot.
Boy, wouldn't you feel like a nerd if you just landed in that tiny little dot? Oh my gosh. It looks like she's saying no thank you. Lisa is saying no thank you. I will take what I have and move on. Looks like Maria.
She's licking her chops at this. 45 feet, Oliva.
A little too much height?
Branch was a vibe killer.
It was just a little bit.
Korver.
I wonder if she was even thinking,
no, thank you.
No, thank you.
I'll just take a drop in par.
It has been around, and I do not want to.
Call it a good day of golf.
Pars for the day. Well, that was definitely tricky. For such a beautiful scoring day on such a birdieable course, it definitely showed you where the difficulties were out there. All right, you guys. We've got Maria finishing at 3 under par, Sarah Gilpin at 1 under par, Juliana Korver staying at 1 over. I've definitely forgot the last one, but we're going to move on to the leaderboard.
Von Scoggins and Ella Hansen and Missy Gannon all tied for first.
These are some fantastic scores.
Look at this tight race. Anyone's game out here. Anyone's game.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow we are back at Sunset Hills for round 3. After that, it's going to be a cut 50% of the field going to Northwoods Black Shorts again on Sunday. We really had fun hanging out with you guys for this Ledgestone coverage and appreciate you tuning in. And if you'd like to support myself, I've got some Tour Series discs for sale, Star Color Glow It's, a Speed 7 Fairway. They're lovely. You should get 10 of them. You can get them on Innova, their website, or your favorite online retailer, or pharmacbd.com. Use code HOLLY for 20% off.
If you can ever catch me out on the road, I've got some awesome Tournament X Burst bears with a custom logo you can only get from me in person. Love to come say hi.